Welcome. Welcome to my heart, and welcome to our Sunday meditation. Once upon a yogi time, there was a man who had incarnated into the earth many hundreds of thousands of times. To your eyes and my eyes, he looked like an ordinary fellow. But he brought with him in this incarnation great determination, great self-discipline, and great evil. He was mean, he was cruel. Oh, he hid it well. He hid it well. He wanted power more than anything. He wanted to control others more than anything. So I looked around. What should I do? What should I do? Looked at all the people, all the circumstances, and he looked at all the gods. I know what I'll do. Shiva. Shiva's the one I want. I want Shiva's attention. So he takes his small amount of supplies, tiny bit of food, and goes up to the Himalayas and finds himself a cave and begins his sadhana. He meditates and he meditates and he meditates and he chants and he meditates, and pretty soon he can sit up in the snow without any concern of the cold. And he meditates and he meditates and he meditates. And this went on for quite a number of breaths, on and on and on, long enough that Lord Shiva noticed. Ah, I see. This person is chanting my name. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So what happens? Well, what happens? Shiva decides to make an appearance. So he goes to see the fellow. Yeah, I see that you're calling me and you've done a lot of spiritual discipline. I said, oh, Lord Shiva, oh, Namah Shivaya, oh, Lord Shiva. Shiva says, hey, you've been meditating all this time and you can't do any better than that? I know, it sounds like you're saying my name from a textbook. I don't hear anything from you. Oh, Lord Shiva, oh, Lord Shiva, oh, Lord Shiva. You can see that I've spent all this time and energy drawing myself to the shore of your wisdom, your consciousness. And on and on and on he goes. All right, what can I do for you? Oh, the God should never ask that. What can I do for you? Here we go, here we go. Well, I've noticed, Shiva boy, the impoliteness begins. I've noticed that all the other gods seem to interfere, and that all the other people, all the other sides, they win all the time. Every time there's a battle between my group and their group, they win. The gods step in for them. And I don't think that's fair. I've done all this discipline, and I think that I should become the head of all. Shiva was in a bind because he had promised the man a boon. Now, you know how it is with a boon. If the God gives you a boon or the guru gives you a boon, they have to keep their word. No, they can't back up and say, no, I'm not going to do it. It takes away the whole order of the universe if they don't keep a boon. So Shiva says, well, exactly what is it that you would like? The man said, I would like it so that anything I put my right hand on, anything I touch with my right hand, will dissolve to ashes. Now, Shiva knew that was a problem But he was stuck. So what was he going to do? This man had evil intent. He wanted to take over the world. So Shiva says, okay, here you go. And then the man looks at him and he says, ah, now, Lord Shiva, I want to give you my blessing. For he thought, if I touch Shiva, Shiva will dissolve away and I will be the master of all. I will be controlling everything. I, for eternity, will be the best. The world will bow down at my feet. Now this is after lots and lots and lots of spiritual discipline. He still was filled with a desire for power and greed and hunger. Shiva turned around and ran as fast as he could. So he goes up, he's running, and he goes past his brother's garden, Vishnu's garden, and Vishnu thinks, is that Shiva? What's my brother doing running? And sees Bish following him, the evildoer. So he turns around and sees that Shiva has come into his garden. He's hiding. He'll help his brother. He knows he'll help his brother. Pretty soon, the evildoer comes in. Have you seen Shiva? Have you seen Shiva? He gave me a boon and I want to take advantage of it. Have you seen Shiva? Yeah. I don't know where he went, but oh, wow, says the evildoer. Who are you? Why, you are the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. I must marry you. I must marry you. For into the garden had come the most divinely beautiful woman ever to have manifested. Oh, please, 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 I must have you for my wife. Oh, please, Bish, evildoer. I know you've got another wife. I know you've had many lovers. I can tell just looking at you. Why would I want anything to do with somebody who has other wives and other lovers? I am so beautiful. I can only pick the best to be my husband. Oh, please, I want you for my wife. Isn't there anything I could do? I think so. Take an oath. Take an oath. Put your right hand over your heart and swear to me that you've never had any other lovers. And then put your left hand over your head and swear to me at the same time you've never had any lovers. You don't have any other wives, and I will be your wife. And the evildoer was so overcome and so overcome and so overcome that he placed his hand upon his heart. And before he could get his left hand up to his head, he had dissolved into ashes. His greed, his avarice, uncontrollable avarice, his hatred, his desire for control that he had fed decade after decade after decade, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, destroyed him. Destroyed him. Now, how is this possible? That he did all the spiritual discipline, he got the attention of the Lord Shiva. The Lord came to him. He didn't have to go to the Lord. The Lord came down unto him. He asked for a boon and he received the boon. Yet what was driving him? What was moving him? What was pushing him, if you will? You know, it was his greed, his desire to be the greatest, his desire to be supreme above all, his feeling, his emotions that he was not bound by the laws of the universe. Now I know none of you are filled with the kind of overwhelming anger and hatred and bitterness that this soul had. I know that this is not the case. And yet within each of us, there lies a tiny, petite, small bit of that desiring. And so what do we have to do? You have to ask yourself, what is it that is motivating you? What's motivating me in my sadhana, in my spiritual life? What is it that I'm seeking? And then you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. What do you want? What is it that really is your motivation? A long, long, long time ago, many, many, many breaths ago, the beginning of my picking up the path in this lifetime, I went to my guru, and I had been doing a spiritual discipline, and I needed him to check what I was doing. And so I did the practice, and he said, disciple, you're desiring, filled with desire. You are desiring an outcome. You cannot do the practice when you're filled with desire. The practice will not have the result that you're seeking when you're filled with want, when you're filled with desire. Now, if I'm going to be honest with you, I was really taken aback. I was really taken aback because at that time, when he said that to me, I thought, what is he talking about? How could I be doing XYZ practice and have my mind filled with desire? I've been doing a lot of practice at that time. But he was right. I went home and did deep tarka, deep reflection. And I found, much to my chagrin at the time, really, that there was a desire behind all of the motivation for practice. And that until I could neutralize that, I could still practice, but I could no longer lie to myself. I could no longer say, I'm doing it because of some grand, good, meritorious thing, but rather that I was doing it for a very selfish reason, really. Now, there's nothing wrong with being selfish, but it's important to know, oh yes, I am. My mind is filled with this emotion. I need to do something about it. And so it is in the practice of mysticism, the intent that you have behind everything that you do in your life. For Kriya Yoga is not a Sunday morning, come to meditation, but it is a lifestyle. The practice of yoga is yoking your mind and your body together. The work of Kriya Yoga, the spiritual discipline of Kriya Yoga, your spiritual discipline, it's unique to each of you. We may have practices that we do that are similar, but the practice itself is unique to you. The way that you do it, your karma, your background, the time, the location, they're all unique to you. Thus, there is a necessity of understanding one's personality and one's self. The true higher self, yes, we must seek that. But there is a necessity of understanding the personality and scrubbing it and refining it and cultivating gentility, cultivating good manners, cultivating culture. Knowing if you're in Japan, you take your shoes off. If you're in China, it's highly offensive if you take your shoes off when you go in someone's house. And if Japan, if you don't, it is highly, highly offensive. In India, you go into a temple and your shoes come off your feet. Doesn't matter how dusty it is, your shoes come off your feet. It's extraordinarily offensive. In India, you never, ever, ever, ever point your feet at another person. Never point your feet at the guru. It's incredibly offensive. It's like walking around naked in public. We must become, you must understand the world in which you are currently living, the universe in which you are currently living, so that you can say, what is it? How can I live more harmoniously in this universe that I'm living in? Now, I'm sure you're saying, oh, what universe? We all live in the same universe. Oh, no. Your universe is unique to you. We are a microcosm of the macrocosm, each of us. But each is a unique microcosm of this macrocosm, this beautiful macrocosm. And so your microcosm is located in a different place than mine is. Your microcosm is located in a different place. Therefore, it is located in a different time realm than mine is. For some of you, it's 7 o'clock at night. For some of you, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. For some of you, it's noon. Time makes all the difference in the world. But my beloved, your intent in everything you do is what matters. You can say, well, I really think that I have good intent. Do you? Only you know the answer to that. But in order to really see your personality, it is necessary to observe your behavior, to observe your speaking, to observe your interaction with others, and to observe your thoughts without judgmentalness, with no judgmentalness, so that you can see, is your personality a personality that insists that you have to be punished? I know several of you who, you're torturing yourselves unnecessarily. You're good people, you're good souls, and you don't need to do that. I know several of you, I can see it and feel it and smell it, who consistently feel as if you're put upon, who consistently feel as if you are the victim. You are not, my beloved. You are the creator of your own universe. You are not. You're not the victim. And if you think you are, you have become that which you think. God is not doing it to you. Guru is not doing it to you. Mother's not doing it to you. Father's not doing it to you. Brothers and sisters are not doing it to you. You are creating your own existence, your own life, your own happiness, if you will. So there's a necessity of examining one's life and saying, what am I trying to do here? What is my intent in my interaction with this other group of people, with this other person? And you may think that I'm here on Sundays to be of benefit to you. I'm here on Sundays to share the greatest blessing I have in my life, the teachings of my Guru, Swami Kriyananda, the teachings of the Kriya Yoga lineage, to share as best as I can. For you, yes, but really, it's for me, for my own enlightenment. For if I share these teachings that have been given to me, that are such an enormous blessing that I have drawn into my life, if you can draw them into your life, if I share them with you, and you find happiness, and you find joy, and you find wisdom, and you find your own enlightenment, then my lineage is blessed. Our lineage is blessed. The world is blessed. The universe is blessed. Your universe, my universe, all are blessed. It matters not. Please hear this. It matters not if you make an error. It matters not if you fall down and have to get up again. Oh, I've done that plenty of times. It matters not if you stumble. It's all right. We all do. We all stumble and have to pick ourselves up. And sometimes picking up leaves a little owie afterwards, a little ouch when we stand up. And it takes a little while to heal. But your intent is what matters. Your intent is what matters. Your intent is what matters. Look at your intent. Examine your intent. Someone was talking to me the other day. She has a 30-year-old son. And he has a girlfriend. They've been together for X number of years. And she came because she said, I think I should encourage him to break up with his girlfriend. Why? Well, I know she wants to get married. And he doesn't want to marry her. How do you know she wants to get married? Well, she's 29. She must want to get married. She's been dating him long enough, and he's not showing any signs of progress. And I think that he should leave that relationship and find one where he will want to marry the person. What do you think, Swamiji? Yeah, and the answer is, what are you trying to do? What is your intent? I want the girl to be happy. I want my son to get married. I want, guess what? I want my son to get married so I can have grandchildren. Oh, here we go. Now, was her intent, she claimed that her intent was she wanted the girl to be happy. Then she went to, I want my son to get married. Not be happy, but get married. Find a girl he can get married to, a woman he can get married to. So I can have grandchildren. You know, back it up. Back it up. It's none of her business. Her intent all along. She lied to herself from the very beginning. Her intent had nothing to do with the young woman her son was in a relationship with. Nothing. Had nothing to do with the son. Her intent was very selfish, and it had to do with her and her desires. Now, you have to walk very, very delicately when you're talking to somebody like that. Very delicately. Do you think your desire for grandchildren might have something to do with this? Perhaps. No. And on and on and on the story went until in time she admitted it might have a little something to do with it. There's nothing wrong with the woman. The woman is me, the woman is you. The woman is each of us. The mind has great capacity to veil the truth of the reality, to put a nice thin veil over the reality. which hides what your real intent is. And this is where the practice of tarka is so important. Looking, gaining the skill every day to look, to turn inward, to say, what is this that I am feeling? I should say more appropriately, what is this that I am emoting? What are the emotions that are rising in my mind? What is really driving my behavior? What is really driving my thinking? What is really driving my speaking? What is my real intent? And when you examine and you see, sometimes you're going to examine, you're going to say, yes, that I'm very consistent. What I have said was my intent is my intent, and I'm behaving accordingly. But sometimes we examine, my beloved, and we see, no. I wanted power. I wanted control. I want to feel like I'm in control of the universe, of my universe. Sometimes we examine our intent and we see that it is less than what we would like. And at that time, there is a necessity to have detachment and compassion. Do not, do you hear me? Do not criticize your intent. Do you hear me? Do not criticize your intent. Stop criticizing your intent. Stop criticizing your past behavior. Tarka is not about self-criticism. It's not about whipping yourself with a wet noodle or whatever. Do not criticize, but simply observe. Observe this and say, I see. Yeah, and look where this has gotten to me. Do not become discouraged. Pick up. Well, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? What do I need to neutralize? If you find that your spiritual discipline, that you find that actions in your life really were very motivated by a desire to get rid of fear, a desire for things to stay the same, a desire to be in control, or that they were motivated by jealousy, by greed, by fear, by anger, totally linked, by depression, linked to fear and anger, then there's the necessity of saying, what must I do? Not think, not say, what must I do to neutralize this? Maybe your doing requires meditation, requires journaling, requires writing, requires doing a walking meditation, requires prayer, requires interning to your beloved form of the divine, requires learning, gaining wisdom. Decide what you are going to do, what changes you are going to make in your life, little by little, by little, by little, by little. But above all, take that judgmentalness that exists deep within your personality, thank it, bless it, and let it go. Stop judging yourself and stop judging others. Do you hear me? It is harmful to yourself to judge yourself. Have compassion for others. I think on the whole that most of you would look at your life and you would say, I've really never done anything that is malicious or mean intentionally to another person. I think many of you could look at your life and say that. And yet, lack of compassion, lack of understanding of the other, lack of sensitivity to the other can be just as harmful as malicious, intentional cruelty. For your indifference to another is equally as harmful. Your indifference to the pain of the other soul, your indifference to the understanding of the other soul, your indifference to their experiences. I was in a hospital the other day visiting with someone, and I noticed when I walked in, there was a sign right at the front door. This is a place of healing. No violent words or action towards any of the people working here will be tolerated. Law enforcement will be called. Front door of the hospital. I thought, okay, I remember seeing something like this in other hospitals. Go up to the floor, sign at the elevator, same sign. Go to visit the person in the room, on in front of the bed room. No violent words or actions will be tolerated. This is a place of healing. Whoa. Violence comes because you're afraid. Anger comes because you're afraid. Depression comes because you're afraid. Of what? That your life is not going to be the same as it was. That you don't have control. It may come because of physical pain, but mostly it's emotional pain. So we need to cultivate daily, throughout your day, cultivate a sense of becoming aware, sensitive to the needs of the others. Say hello. Smile. Greet the other. Let them go in front of you in the elevator. Let them go in front of you on the expressway. I know somebody said to me a few weeks back that, they get in their car and they don't pay attention to anyone around them. They just go where they have to go. That's how many of us walk through life, my beloved. It's not the way to walk through life. You're not alone. You're a part of life. You are not apart from life. You are a part of. You cannot walk down the street moving people out of the way. Drive down the expressway with no consideration for others. That's a reflection of your state of consciousness, my beloved. It's a reflection of the way you're walking through life, saying others don't matter, only I matter. How do you think we got in this little chaos? All this chaos. Why would we have wars if we didn't have people feeling that my desire is first? In the last 16 years or so, since Pluto went into Capricorn, around the world we've seen people leaving the countries that they were born, leaving the countries they lived in, at great, great risk to themselves. People getting in rowboats, getting in boats, going across the Mediterranean from one country to another country. Walking thousands of miles, 2,000, 3,000 miles to get someplace that they thought they were going to be free, that their life was going to be improved. What has your mind done when you've seen that? I can tell you that some people have said, we don't want that. We don't want that. No. Rather than saying, wow, my goodness, what a tremendously difficult place you must have left to be willing to and wanting to put all this effort in to walking, to going on a boat, to going without food, to going without any of the resources that you would want, to find a better life. Leaving because there's famine, leaving because there's no water, leaving because of political greed, economic impoverishment. Do not block the light of the sun with your thumb. Don't let your opinions, your biases, and your prejudices block your self-awareness. And so in summary, what am I trying to say to you today? I'm trying to say to you that it is vital to see what your intent is, the intent of your actions. And if you find that that intent is something that truly is not what you're proud of, that your intent might be selfish, that your intent might be distorted, if you will, look at your life and look what you can do to correct that thought, those words, and that behavior. Your intent does matter. It does matter. More than doing everything properly. And I'm going to end with this one thing, because this, I think, it's a pattern that many of you have. If you don't ignore it. People often come to me and they say, I want to make sure I'm doing this exactly right. Exactly right. Okay? I'll be glad to check the technique if I gave it to you. I'll be glad to help you with that. But let go of your need to do it exactly right. Do it as you know how to do it. And if in one moment you're chanting a mantra and the mantra is not exactly right, what is your intent? You chant 108 Om Namah Shivaya, and they will not all be the same. I guarantee you. Chant 3 Om Namah Shivaya, and they will not all be exactly the same. I received a note a few days back. Someone sent a note in saying, would you please, in big caps, this is the part that was in caps, send me the exact technique that Babaji is using in the Himalayas and that he used to find enlightenment. Period. I've been practicing Kriya for 60 years, and I want the exact technique so that I can become enlightened. I did the best I could to help him. I suggested that he contact Babaji, that he turn inward and meditate, and the Babaji would find for him that which he needed. But there's an error in thinking, my beloved. You've been practicing 60 years. You've got a lot of techniques. Just practice one, pick one, and be consistent with your practice. And for heaven's sakes, if you want the practice that you think will find you Babaji, don't go looking all over the world. turn inward. Call upon Babaji. Call upon the divine ones and you will be helped. So, what did I say? Intent matters. See your intent clearly. Do not judge yourself. Do not criticize. Just see. And when you see something you don't like, correct it. Don't whip yourself with wet noodles. Correct it. You do the practice. Do as best as you can. Do not be consumed with the idea that everything in your life has to be perfect. If that were the case, you would not be here in this world of perfection. Before we meditate, Shelley is here with a story. That I want to share with you. This is a Shelley G story. It's true. So a fella comes to Shelley and he says, I want you to give me a mantra, Shelley, to find a wife. Okay? Now, Shelley, I want her to be 5'2.5". I want her to have long blonde hair. I want her to have green eyes. I want her to be very petite, and I don't ever want her to get fat. And on and on and on. She must come from a very cultured family. Are you sure that you want this? Are you sure you don't want to just be happy? No, I know exactly what I need to be happy. I know exactly what I need to be happy. All right. Here's the mantra. Fella goes and chants the mantra. Chants the mantra, chants the mantra, chants the mantra. Wouldn't you know it? 2 years later, he gets introduced to the perfect woman. The matchmaker comes perfect. She is exactly like he asked. Exactly. Her body, her eyes, she was just beautiful. The woman of his dreams. And he says, oh, I'm so happy to meet you. And she says, oh, I'm so very happy to meet you too. I would really like to marry you if you want to get married. And the man said, oh my. I missed something. Seek out your own illumination. You must look at your intent. Let go of the self-judgmentalness. Find a way. You can say, well, I see, my intent is to, be a better person. I see that there's some selfishness in there. That's all right. I observe it. I see it. Let me bless it and do my practice. And now, my beloved, I would like to spend some time with you meditating, sending our blessings. We'll use the Om Shanti mantra. There are many places in the world, many people, many beings of all sorts that need blessings at this time. So let us close off our meditative time together with sharing our spiritual energies. So as we go up and meditate, your spiritual energies are important. So you will send them down as you choose, as you wish, using golden drops, going to all those souls who are in need. Namaste Ji. Namaskar. Sitting with the spine erect, place your hands in the Om Mudra. the index finger and the thumb together. Turn your head to the left, exhaling twice. Bring the head back to the center and begin to watch the breath. Use the sipping breath, pulling the energy from the limbs of the body to the trunk of the body. From the trunk of the body, pull the energy to the spinal column. From the base of the spine, pull the energy up to the sun center. Move that energy as a golden ball of light in front of you. Now sweep that ball of light around your body to the left 3 times and encase the body in golden light. Now expand that golden light. And ascend as high as you are able to the high place of meditation. Finding yourself in the high place of meditation, begin to watch your breath. As you sit in meditation, the blue light of self-awareness descends upon your crown center. The light of self-awareness is descending, pouring down upon you, filling every cell of your being. Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam. The golden dewdrops of self-awareness pouring over your crown center, through your crown center, into every cell of your being. Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam. Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam. Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam. Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam. O ye powers that be, join with us as we send forth our blessings. First for Mother Gaia. May our hearts be filled with gratitude for the blessings of our lives upon her. May she have all that she needs. And let us chant the Om Shanti mantra 3 times. Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. For all of those souls who are living with water insecurity, with food insecurity, with shelter insecurity, Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. For all of those who are living their lives in confinement or confined by negative, constrictive karma, who are confining others, whose lives are filled with emotions of hate, of greed, of anger, of fear. May these emotions be dissolved. May they have that which they need. Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. For those souls living with sickness of mind and body, O ye powers that be, thou knowest better than we that which is needed. Thou knowest better than we that which will be of service to them. May our prayers and blessings be joined with thine and be used as is wisest by each soul in their highest good. Om Shanti, 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 Om. O ye powers that be, at this moment we send our blessings to all of those oversouls upon the earth, those souls who are controlling the karmas of so many people, who are embodying the karmas of so many people. We ask they be given wisdom. We ask that they be given compassion. We ask that the karma be softened again and again and again and again. That there be harmony upon the earth. Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. O ye powers that be, pour forth thy blessings with us for all of those souls who are leaving the earth incarnation. May they remember their good deeds. May they remember their goodness. May they take this goodness with them. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And for all of those souls who are entering the earth plane, may their new incarnation be blessed. May they remember their goodness of the past. May they feed that goodness in this new incarnation. May each soul become a greater blessing unto life upon the earth. Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. For all of those needs that we have not articulated, O ye powers that be, thou knowest what is needed. As we send blessings one more time, may the blessings go as they are needed most, in the way they are needed most, in the timing they are needed most. Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. O ye who are with the Sangha at this moment, thou art blessed. Thou art abundantly blessed. As thou hast blessed life, accept the blessings of life. Feel them pouring upon thee at this moment, filling every cell of thy being. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Arahit Om. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for the blessings of your presence, for your spiritual energies, for your prayer presence. Be thou blessed. You are blessed. Accept the blessings and find happiness. Namaste, Ji.